Well, hi guys, welcome back. And on this one, we're going to be doing about 1500 Ks. We drive the long way around, we drive the scenic route, and all on the ride to RUAHA. We took a longer route as the shorter distance involved three very unattractive scenarios: the trucks, the Kak North Road, and the chaotic Tunduma border post. The drive, which took us up to Sumbawanga, was longer than what we had wanted, but in retrospect was the correct decision. This is where we left off last time on episode 1, saying goodbye to Bangweulu. And we had to endure this Great North Road for a few more Ks. We managed to stop at a lovely little spot outside Kakalangteka, which had a wonderful market. And we got stuck in. We had a couple of beers at the Black Velvet Bar, and maybe we should have had a game of pool. But this table looked a little bit tired. Then the turn off into Capa Hot Springs. And this is an interesting looking old building. Turns out it's the entrance to Africa House. And eventually we got to the hot springs. We were pleased to see it. And what a surprise we got when we got here. Just look at this campsite. We planned to stay here for 2 nights, and on the first night we had this wonderful place all to ourselves. Sun's peeping through the clouds. What are you doing? Smelly bits. Check out the information sheet at the end of the video for details of all the places we stayed.
Hot springs this way.
Just like the campsite, we had it all to ourselves. What's nice about the springs is that they're not sulfurous, and the warm water bubbling up keeps the pool at a lovely temperature.
So it's not a micro moment, it's a macro moment. It's just like I love my bath.
The rain came down for a bit, and the awning earned its keep. After supper, we were back in the springs. If only I'd seen the bird that Phil saw, a Ross's Turako. We drove up a very scenic D53 and onto the Old North Road, which was virtually devoid of trucks. It was bliss. We had decided on staying at this little-known campsite called Flowers and Fern. We bought eggs and meat from Jackie, and it turned out to be a great little spot. On the drive out from Flowers and Fern, we came across a spectacular little dam. Although the Mbala border post was very quiet, it was a bit slow. But it's still easier getting out of Zambia than getting into it. This blooming bus was playing tag with me all the way. The main tar roads in Tanzania are much better than those in Zambia. What a pleasure. The architecture on all the new buildings was very noticeable. Clearly, steep roofs are in fashion. famous Ankoli breed of cattle originates in East Africa.
These oaks are fearless, man.
The driving antics and general road behavior left us stunned sometimes. And how's this guy carrying a door frame on a motorbike? How he doesn't wipe out pedestrians and other cars is beyond me. As we got closer and closer to Tunduma, so did the number of trucks increase. Oh, were we pleased that we didn't come up through that border post. The shadows were getting long and we still had quite a long way to go. I think we're going to be arriving in the dark, guys. How's this tractor with no lights at all? And then you get some guy with brights blazing. Not to mention all the pedestrians and potholes that you can't see in this bad light. Africa, don't drive at night. At last we arrived at Uten Goule Coffee Lodge, and we all settled down to a well-deserved ice-cold beer, a hamburger and a plate of chips. And what would a visit to a coffee farm be without a proper cappuccino? Guys, and I just want to squeeze this in here. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. It doesn't cost anything. Then you'll be assured of seeing all future episodes on your feed. And thanks to all of you who posted comments on episode 1. It was great to interact with you. Although the roads are better in Tanzania, one thing that did strike us was that you've got to be careful of your speed. Speed limit in town is 50 and on the open roads it's 80. Boy, if you go past that 50k an hour speed limit sign going 55, you are going to get a fine. And there are plenty and plenty of cops.
It's clear to see from up here.
One of the positive spin-offs about this low speed of 80 and 50 is that our fuel consumption was incredible. I mean, on my car I got as good as 9.1 k's to the litre at one point.
You and me, we meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Everyone had stocked up with lovely fresh vegetables along the road and also at the little tuck shop at Old Farmhouse. And tonight was going to be a feast.
There's a hole in your packet. 55. Hey, check out that. That is from the side of the road. There's not one ingredient that we didn't buy on the road.
To see the truth
And so the contemplation on route change began.
from a distance.
Now there are two ways of getting to Ruah from Old Farmhouse. The first way is the way we went. You could drive about 5 k's north from Old Farmhouse and you turn left onto this lovely deserted scenic route, should we say. Turned out to be quite bumpy and quite a long drive, but super scenic. And the other way, if you're towing, it's probably better, is to go up to Ringa and take the turn off there. A little bit further, but probably a lot quicker.
You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
After about 3 hours on this bumpy road, we were starting to wonder if in fact this was the way to Ruah. Anyway, we pressed on, thoroughly enjoying the drive.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here.
The dreaded tsetse flies are here. These black and blue flags are there to attract the flies because they're attracted to those colors, and the fabric is impregnated with a poison.
The world seems small. We can sit together.
Now that was a welcome sight. We are on the right road after all.
You and me, we meant to be great outdoors, forever free.
One thing needs to be said here about the Tanzanian national parks. Their parks fees and camping fees are just hectic. I mean, for 4 nights in a campsite with no facilities whatsoever cost us just over 30 grand for 2 people. And Serengeti was to get much worse. It's probably why we didn't see that many other vehicles. In fact, we didn't see any other private vehicles while we were in RUAHA.
Around you, from a distance you can tell. You and me.
God, look at that.
Waiting for dinner to come.
Now there's something you don't see every day.
Outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
At last we arrived to the turn-off spot at our campsite, and just look at this spot. I mean, okay, it's got no facilities, but what a pristine spot. This must be probably one of the best campsites I've ever stayed in. It was wonderful. On the banks of the great RUAHA River. Phil kept a close eye out for the crocs, and I filled up the 5-litre jerry cans, which we put next to the fire and heat up to wash dishes and shower with. Now we had 3 full days to explore the park, so we each decided to do our own little game drives, and wow, it was stunning. The bush was hell of a thick, and spotting animals wasn't that easy. We were soon to realize that RUAHA wasn't so much about the animals as it was about the wonderful campsite and the birds. The birds were absolutely fantastic. 28 lifers in 4 days. RUAHA was established way back in 1910 and is actually quite a big park, 2 million hectares, which is a bit bigger than Kruger. And how crazy is this? Apart from a few rangers, we pretty much had the whole place to ourselves. Now there's a blue waxbill with something different. Although renowned for the large prides of lion, we didn't see any. This park also once had 34,000 elephant, and this number is now below 10,000. Most of the northwestern portion is inaccessible wilderness, and that's exactly the feeling you got, that you were in the wilderness.
I think this private campsite worked out really well because we didn't know really got how it was going to be.
And the funny thing is, when you drive in, where the road kind of goes into the bush, you don't see it at first, and you think, well, this is the campsite.
Yeah.
And then you drive down.
That probably is the campsite.
I think that is the
That's
campsite.
probably the high water campsite.
This fancy looking lodge was a few k's upriver from us, and they were apparently waiting for guests to come in a few days' time. This is quite a nice little spot called Hippo Pools. It's got a nice rocky outcrop that you can climb up and look out from. And it was great just sitting up there watching the RUAHA River ecosystem just doing its thing. And the sunsets every night at the camp were just spectacular. I mean, look how the sun shines off these baobab trees.
The time has come, the walrus said, to speak of many things, the time of leaving this beautiful place.
Oh, thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that. Look out for the next episode where we move on to explore Selous. Catch you then.